We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for the history of ActionVision. My name is Mark Boersma. And so, um, where do I start? I was born a month and a half late. No, maybe a little further along. Anyways, so ActionVision, so Synergy Solutions was started. I should know the year. I don't know the year. And the first product that we had was called, what was it called? Was It was a product that was software and marketing. It was a medallion marketing series, and it was for specifically for the mortgage industry. So, and it was a subscription based system. The first one I know of where software used to be sold, where it was just you sold it, you bought software, you paid $500 and you got it, you owned it, and then they sold you updates on it. Now, software as a service, that is something that we actually did, which was pretty cool before anybody else was doing it, as far as I know. And so we went ahead and had technology that was the tools and systems for the mortgage industry to analyze different types of mortgages to come up with the very best mortgage to help somebody in loan as a loan officer. And as we're developing that, the company, we were having a hard time putting sales on the board and a hard time, making it and stuff. And so we're struggling through it. And it didn't look good for us. It did not look good for us. It was not like, yeah, we're not going to make it. And I did something kind of, I don't know, it was weird. I'm like, I need to get, and so we had graphic designers, we had computer programmers, we had salespeople, we had administrative. So we had a number of different types of people, very different thinking. And we rented out a business conference room in a hotel when we really couldn't afford it. And we went there and we had, these people, I don't know, there were 6, 7, 8 of us. And it's like, I don't know that we're going to make it another 2, 3 months. Like it was pretty bleak. And we're sitting there and I'm like, I need, everybody's all over the place. I need one system that will go ahead and work with all. I need a goal. I need a way to set goals for everybody. And programmers think different from graphic designers, different from salespeople, different from everything. Everything, it's like, it's all different. I need to have one system. So I started, I'm like, what do I need to do? So what's common? And so I developed on a napkin. And I'm like, well, this is common, and then this is, and then this is. And so I built a system and kind of ran it that first meeting out of desperation, trying to get everybody on the same page. And then it kind of worked. And so I put more time into it. And then we started building these different pieces of it. Maybe in one of the future sessions, we might be able to get some of the history of the old ActionVision from 34 years ago. And we worked on it for maybe a year that way, and it seemed to help. It seemed to help the designers and salespeople, and so it seemed to be. It's like, this is working better. A company looks like we're going to survive. Maybe not. I mean, it was pretty rough, and so we sold the software, the Medallion Marketing Series, as a service to First Chicago, Jack Eastman, and that was a lot of stories. Oh my goodness, so many near-death experiences with business. Anyways, so we had that, and they were subscribing, on a monthly basis. They were paying us on a monthly basis, and I was doing personality training in addition to the, some of the other stuff and everything. And Jack said, your team really, man, they're functioning. They really work well. I'm like, oh, thanks, I appreciate that. And he's like, how do you do it? And I said, well, I kind of developed this system that helps everybody to do goal setting. And he says, can I see it? I'm like, sure. So I brought it in a 3-ring binder and kind of showed it to him. And I had an idea. I'm like, I think this might be marketable. I think people might actually pay for this. And so everybody and their brother and sister and aunt and uncle, everybody's in coaching now. Back then, nobody was. Like 33, 34 years ago, nobody was in coaching. So it wasn't really a thing. mean, in sports it was, but other than in business, it really wasn't. And I'm like, I think people might pay for this, for the ActionVision. And I'm like, I think they might pay for it. So I showed Jack, and he says, I want that. And I said, well, I don't, we don't, it's not really ready. He's like, I'm willing to pay for it. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, but it's still not ready. He says, no problem. Just come up with what you think. And we were struggling a lot. We were struggling a lot. And then, so I came up with pricing for it. And over the next year and a half, 2 years, they put $250,000 into ActionVision before it was ready. And so this was when Ginger Ann was just a little girl. And so she used to go ahead and she and Jonathan and Melissa, when they were young, they used to process all the business x-rays, but it's not like it was now. They used to have to go into Micrographic Designer, and they'd have to go through all the details, and they'd have
so much fun.
And I don't know if all three of them were a pain. Maybe, I mean, when you have that much trauma as a dad, you maybe it was only 2 out of 3. I don't know. But it got to be such a pain, and I don't feel that I really got a lot of support from people. I'm like, I'm going to wipe out these little kids, and they're not going to do it. And so I put it into software. So I eliminated their jobs. They didn't complain about it. And so, but we had ActionVision. Sorry, skipped over some. So ActionVision, so we did it. And so they poured 250,000 into it. And so then we reinvested a lot into developing it and actually put it into a manual system. And everything was manual back then. And so we sent it out and everything. But the plan, the ActionVision plan is pretty much how it is today. There's not really anything that's changed in 34 years. So the driving force is that's not measurable, or that's measurable, but it's not controllable. You can't control this. It's a result. These are all actions. And so it produces, you do these actions, you do the right action in the right way or the right period of time, and it'll produce a predictable result. So we were doing this and testing it out. And then I'm like, this is really good. Like, I'm going to have one of these for my personal. So I had one for business, an ActionVision plan for my business. Then I had one for my family. So I had one specifically for a family, making sure that my marriage and making sure my kids, making sure spiritual and their educational stuff, I put it all together, mapped it out. And so then on a monthly basis, Dale Williams, the pastor, that's another story. He and his wife would come over and we had ActionVision plans. So I built one for their family and built one for our family. And we went through and scored it. And I'm like, okay, did we work on it, complete it, or not do anything on it? This is the short version too. There'll be a number of these. But so I remember once going through and saying, okay, we're going to come up with symbols like, zeros, they represent consistent action, and the stars, so you have focus. Which action should I focus in on? And so it's like, so this is how Ginger Ann's story of when she was 5 years old, having a date night. So on her ActionVision plan, she's 5, 6, 7 years old. So she had an ActionVision plan too when she's that age. And one of her goals was to have a date night with dad. So we were pretty strong into that at that point. And so we're scoring it on a monthly basis. I'm like, I need to have some type of a number, a way to know big picture. So I'm really frustrated. I'm like, I come up with a big tech, little tech X, and the 5, 2, and 0, and 2, 1, and 0, and that sticks. And that was developed in our home on a personal plan with Rosanna and I and Dale and Shirley and his wife. Like, we go back and we were just young couples and trying to do life together. And so we got all of that scored. And so why does ActionVision mean so much to me? Because people don't understand how hard it is to start a business. And people who start a business have no idea how hard it is to start a business when you don't have a product. It's another whole dimension. We didn't even have a product when we had Synergy. When we started it, we didn't even have a product. It took, I don't know, 15 months to develop our first product. We weren't making any money for 15 months, nothing. Money just pouring out, working with programmers, trying to come up with software, trying to do all of this stuff. And so when you develop a product in your mind that's not out there, people have no idea as how hard that is. Like if you go ahead and are accountant, you do taxes. Like that's what you do. If you're a builder, you do builder. If you're, an architect, you do architect. But there are very few people on the planet, that create something in their mind from nothing and turn it into a product that can change people's lives. So I'm working 50, 60, 70, 100, 110 hour days, but I'm still having a date night every single night, every single Friday with my wife because it's on my ActionVision plan. I'm having Saturday family night with all my kids because it's on my ActionVision. I do long weekends with my wife because it's on my ActionVision. I go ahead and develop a spiritual plan for my children because it's on my ActionVision plan. Like all the things that I do, it's because it helped me to balance my life. It helped me to keep everything going when it was chaos. And so people can't appreciate what ActionVision is, especially women, because you have so much pressure as a husband. And I'm not saying wives don't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's so much pressure. And you don't really care if you like what you do. And I loved what I did. I loved helping people. I loved solving problems. I loved everything about it. And I loved sitting down with my kids and setting goals for them and their life and going through everything. And it's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Like, how are you going to get? So I knew how hard it was to do what I was doing. And if it wasn't for ActionVision, I wouldn't have made it. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I would have got sucked into corporate life. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd have had to give up, but it became Synergy's main product line. It surpassed everything else, the amount of revenues generated. And it's not only did it give me the ability to do anything I wanted to in life, but it gave me the economic engine to support my family for 34 years. Not only did it do that, but it helped other people and other businesses. And not only did it do that, but it helped fund pretty much almost all of Life Masteries Institute too. Like it produced so much. And so it's absolutely magical. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it feels like God gave it to me because there's no way at 27, 28, 29 years old, there's no way I had the intelligence to figure it out. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, and so we did research on it and found out that there's a positive 4% correlation. Like I knew it was good because I knew, well, if you have goals and you go ahead and have clear goals and then you have clear actions that you need to do those goals, you have to do the right actions in the right way over the right period of time. Right action, right way, right period of time. That's what you have to do. And so ActionVision measures that. And it helps you to see just like, are you consistent? Are you inconsistent? You can drill down in. And so the dream was that, I thought that I would have like thousands of employees. And I thought, how cool would it be? You have so many employees, so many people, you have so many of so many. And it's like, you can't know everybody. And I thought, how cool would it be to call up, Ken Marley. Like he's a fictitious one. He's not a real one, but like he could be. And I could call up Ken, and Ken does never even met me. Like he's never met me because I have too many people working, and I'm like, how cool would it be? Call him up and say, "Hey, Ken, hey, this is Mark Borsman." He's like, "The Mark Borsman? Yeah, the Mark Borsman. You mean the guy who created? Yeah, everything." He's like, "I've never met." I know, Ken, and I'm just curious. Like, you went ahead and said that you said that you wanted to take your wife on a long weekend and date night, and I see that you've been really consistent, but you're dropped off there. So way to go on that, buddy. And then hey, I just wanted to tell you, I'm going to give you. I'm going to send you out some gift cards and stuff like that for a long weekend for your wife. And like, I can know exactly what's going on in Ken's life. And I don't even have to I don't have to meet him. And I know you wanted to read the Bible one, that one can, a little more inconsistent. Like, so good last 2 months, you did good last 2 months and you're kind of up and down, you're kind of on and off. Is there anything I can do about that one? Like, and exercise. How you doing on that, Ken? Like, I can go in. Yeah, that's worse than the Bible study, Ken. Like, we got to get going on that, buddy. And then I had these little things here. And so, like, to touch every single person in the world, one person at a time, make a huge difference in every aspect of their life in a really fun and exciting way. ActionVision can do that. Like, it can do that. And then Ginger Ann and I went over to Russia when she was 11. Like, oh my goodness. And then we go ahead and saw icons. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool to go ahead and take it from a 5-year-old, take it down to a 3-year-old, and you can have all icon based? And now Mikey and Lincoln, I think we're gearing up for them because they love adventures and with Grandpa. It's like, okay, we could have like life. We only get one lifetime. You only get one. Like, that's it. Like, how can somebody not recognize? And I knew all of that at 27 years old. Like, dang. And it's like, Mark, if you're going to do all of this, if you're going to go ahead and have freedom from working a real job where you don't go ahead and get sucked in and they're telling you what to do and telling you where to move and you have to do this and who knows what else you have to do. You want freedom. You'd rather die in the jungle than live in the zoo. But wife and children, they're a little funky about that. They would rather you live in the zoo than die in the jungle. Like, it's true. Like, they don't want you dying. Like, they just don't. And so this gave me the ability, and then it gave me the ability to go ahead and have confidence in what I was doing. Like, there's a million things you want to do, 2 million things other people want you to do, and 10 million things you could be doing. They're all really good. And I knew all of that. It's like, how do I get down to the great things? And then how do I measure this? Like, how do I measure if I'm like it just was weird. Like, so my dad, Baptist pastor, so I grew up a very conservative Baptist, and it just seems stupid to me. It just seems stupid. I'm just like you're never happy. Like, you never do enough Bible study, you never do enough prayer, you never do enough sharing Christ, you never have enough time with your wife or your kids. Like, you're always unhappy because it's never enough. And I'm like, I want to live a life of intentionality. And that's what ActionVision gave me. Like, if I'm not spending enough time with my wife or my kids, then let's have a conversation about it. And so, men, wives, you want an amazing husband, put him on ActionVision. I'm just telling you, put him on ActionVision, because men love linear things. Like like men love like, I want to know what's my expectation. That doesn't mean I'm just going to live up to one date night a week. Maybe I'll have 2 or 3, and maybe I can do other types of things. But at least I know, because it's so hard to know, what are you supposed to do? And so I don't know how to go ahead and communicate what this means. Did it save my life? Maybe. Did it save me from, from having to go into a corporate job and work for somebody else? For sure. It gave me freedom. And so if, selling ActionVision or servicing ActionVision, if you understand the magic of it, there's nothing on the planet. Tom has said it. Peter Miles has said, there's nothing anywhere in the world like this. There's no competitors to this. There's just not. There's no competitor to what ActionVision can do. And so we came back with the research and it was 4% positive variance. And it's like, I knew it would help people get to their goals. I never dreamed in my wildest dreams how it can be so accurate. How can you do 80% of your plan and get 84% of your results? Some are more, some are less. How is it? So it took us 7 years to figure out that secret. And it was kind of mostly not thought through. It was a little bit. It was in that living room. And it was a little bit, I'm like, well, this and this, if we do this and this. So there was some thought, it wasn't just random, but I didn't have any idea as to the intelligence of what I was doing. So I just like, it must be a God thing. I don't know. Like he gave me this gift. Like this is a gift that I have to steward. But it can't get people to figure out the magic. It's like if you understood the magic, if you understood what you could get out of life, and you don't want to have any regrets. Like, and you want to pursue your life vision. Like trust me, you want to discover your life vision. You want to pursue it recklessly. Like you want to do that and you want to see success in every area of life that you value. So what do you value? And then you pursue that. You just do. So any questions or thoughts on any of it?
I didn't even know all of that, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, there's so much. There's so much of so much. There's so much of so much. It's insane. Like this is a gift of God, and I've got to. Obviously, I'm not very old. I'm only 61. So,
This is a spring chicken.
right. But I got to hand it over to the next generation. I've got to hand it over. And so, like my life's work, and it's absolutely magical what it can do to people. And so, like, I'd love, like, my ultimate dream vision was back then, before any of the computer stuff, before any of the AI, was to go ahead and give this to where it could be automated. And now AI can do it. It's like it can do it. We can do this. Like there's a little girl and she's 11 years old and she's, her mom's maybe on drugs and her dad's in prison and she doesn't have any hope and there's nobody that believes in her. Like she's just lost. And she could have this plan that says, what do you want, honey? Like, what do you want? And then she could hear my voice, like, sweetheart, I have 4 girls, 4 daughters, and I want you to be, and it could give her name, like it could give her name. It could look at her personality. It could know all of that. It could have her life vision, her passion. It could have all that she cares about, everything. And I could connect with her and say, sweetheart, there's somebody out there that loves you so much, and you're created to be so amazing. Because my girls, they heard that a lot. But there's some little girls out there, they never hear it, not once in their life. They never hear. Then there's stupid ass, men who abuse girls. And then these girls go ahead and think men do that. And there are. And these men need to be put away. But they need to understand there's men out there that care for you, love, they would give their life for you. And it's like, there's millions of these. They're all over the place. It's like, and ActionVision and technology and media now with AI, it's right on the cusp. It's like, it's right there. And maybe my voice is not the best voice, and it's okay. Like maybe they need a woman's voice, or older or younger, or I don't know. And it could be in different languages and all of that. Like, like this is the essence because it connects everything together. Everything together. And so the goal would be like, I'd love for everybody in the world to be on ActionVision and not charge anything for it. Just give it all free. Like just give it all away. Like, but it's powerful for business. Oh, goodness. So, other questions, thoughts? So, yeah, you might just be ready. You There might be a lot of tears in this stuff. Lots, so many tears, so many tears. Some of these tears are like so much thankfulness, like so much thankfulness. Um, some of the tears are like I don't understand why it didn't work better. Like why didn't it work better? Like it should have worked better. It didn't work better. Why did it work better? Some of it is like our oldest son died 5 years ago. And there's so many memories I have of him because of ActionVision. If I didn't wasn't intentional on it, if I wasn't intentional, I am pretty confident I'd have got lost in my business, trying to survive and put food on the table and provide. I mean, and so there's so many things. So hopefully this is a good start. There'll be more. Appreciate you all. Thank you.